Zach from Springfield writes in and says, the Vita was too early. Bold. I think with the Steam Deck announcement and the thriving Switch market, we can say if the Vita had been released even in the last handful of years, it could have thrived more. I feel like handheld gaming is all the rage, and a 2021 Vita could have incorporated a dock a la Switch or Steam Deck. Am I wrong?
If dreams and ups were
wrong.
candy and... Let's talk about the Vita.
Let's talk about the Vita.
Sure.
Let's talk about...
Memory cards.
Yeah.
Oh, expensive.
Sure.
Those things were
Small.
so expensive.
Let's talk about the 50 different ways. And I bought a Vita and I bought a PSP. Let's talk about the 50 different control schemes on a Vita. What's going on there? Let's talk about its menu. Remember that nightmare of a menu?
Yeah, you get to peel it back and
Hit the bubbles. What the fuck?
Oh god.
Yeah, but I will say it felt good. Like I think it there were parts of it that felt good. Yeah. Like
the thing
that wasn't the thing that I would like pick this thing up and be like, this is never gonna work.
What game are you gonna play on? Name a game.
Persona.
I played. No, I played Tearaway. I played the escape thing they did. What was it? It was the black and white character escape plan.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Cool. All right. This thing's $300. Keep going.
Rogue Legacy.
Yeah.
Available.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. That's not on other platforms.
They started tapping into some of that same market of like, can we get some? Is this a good place to play indie games like a Spelunky and that sort of stuff? So like, I get the similarities, but you have to remember, like, yeah, proprietary memory cards didn't help, but you have to remember Sony did not devote its best first-party development to that platform. You got an Uncharted game made by not the Uncharted studio at launch. Like out of the gate, they were saying, this is not our main focus.
Yeah.
Please buy a PlayStation 3. You know, like they never, ever supported the Vita the way they should have if they wanted it to truly take off. And they obviously, it's a different scenario, but they never supported it as well as Nintendo is currently supporting the Switch, because that's where all of Nintendo's games come out. You buy that device, you get everything. You don't get like, I don't know, we gave the Vita kit to a studio and they made a weird thing that uses the back touch and it's fun, but it's not, you're not going to like...
The support... The caliber of support did not match the caliber of the hardware, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Well, they were kind of selling it as it was like what Jeff said earlier. Remember, you said that the Nintendo in America was trying not to have 2D pixel stuff come over. Was that what you're saying? Or PlayStation? Sony. You're saying?
Yeah, PlayStation.
Sorry, Sony.
Yeah.
They were selling the Vita as like a portable PlayStation 3, right? It was all these like 3D games that looked worse on this thing. Yeah. Like, that's not what Nintendo does with the Switch. They don't try and make, like, AAA PC games run on this little dinky handheld thing. They make games that work for it.
But, like Doom, someone's out there trying to do it. But.
And so the games we talk about, right? It's the same with the PSP. The games we talk about are like Loco Roco and
Frobisher
Katamari.
Says,
like weird little things. It's never all the games that they were throwing on the commercials. Like, these Uncharted games.
Like, now I can play MLB on the go. It's not like cool, but like that's not their best foot forward with any of that software. And you had a few studios that did some cool things in first party that were making Vita exclusive games. And it's not without games, but it's such a different scenario that if they came out right now with that while also still trying to get all their best, biggest studios to make PlayStation 5 games, it'd be the same thing all over again. You'd be like, look at all these also ran like whatever, like no one. Like, this is fine, but it's not some main thing. It just was never a main focus of Sony's. Even out of the gate, even at launch, it felt like the retail push for it was like minimal. Like it defaulted to, throw these next to the bargain rack in the Best Buy. We'll move them to the bargain rack eventually, but just set them there at full price for now. Like every retail spot I saw for Vita games, which was just looked like a disaster. It looked like they didn't know what they wanted to do. Digital game purchases were not as far forward as they are now.
God, that store.
So maybe that's an aspect of like them being a little bit early to it because of the cost of the storage and the proprietary storage and all that sort of stuff. But like
That was the worst part.
You know, that stuff sucked, but like they did not do themselves any big favors on that thing when it came to just putting amazing software on it.
What was that? The Gravity game?
Gravity Rush.
Gravity Rush. Yeah.
That was a good one.
It was neat. It was neat.
I have this very vivid memory of swiping through like 3 screens of games. Those are the only 3 games that I can remember. I don't know what the other ones were. They're something. I just, yeah.
It was a great place to play Luftrausers.
Yeah. There was a Final Fantasy game on the Vita. Crisis Core, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was a
those
slick
bubbles.
one.
Those bubbles, man. That was the worst UI of all time.
That UI was...
Man, let me tell you, buying one in 2019 and then trying to get any game on that was so hard to do.
Yeah, because is the store down? What happened? No, the store is not down. Is it down?
The store
Remember
is
they were
not. I don't think it's down. I think they averted that. But
I hated all the shooters. Those were the worst.
Yeah, like there was like a
garbage.
Yeah, like Resistance
there was a kill
or whatever.
zone.
Yeah, that's right. There was a kill zone. It's like you're using the back touch to like tap here to throw a grenade. You know, like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. This is not.
all the weird apps that run it like near.
Yeah, the GPS thing.
Yeah,
that they eventually took out. They updated the firmware and removed near completely. And that was one of the neatest things about it early. I remember getting a Vita before they came out, and I forget. I think is when we went to go pick them up from Sony. I think I might have driven down to get them, and then we were driving back and stopped off to get something to eat. And I'm like loading up near and trying to be like, "What's near? What's around here? Is there a bubble I can pop or an item I can pick up?" Or it's just like it never was clear what that thing was really good for. It was no Street Pass.
I remember what I played on it now.
Okay,
Rayman Legends.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Guacamelee.
Great game.
Also good.
Resogun and the skateboarding Ollie Ollie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the remote play being neat. It didn't always work all the time.
It was an interesting idea. Yeah.
I had a friend who was in Ireland once and was playing his PlayStation in New York that he had left on through remote play on his Vita, which seemed insane. and probably had crazy latency. Yeah. It's
cool ideas. But yeah, it never, things maybe would have gone differently if that was like your place to play all of Sony's biggest games, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And without that level of support, how are the third parties going to thrive? And it's not to say that thing had no games and all the other stuff. It just, it was just a fundamentally different thing, and you can't really look at what's going on right now with the Switch and make a comparison because it's just not the same. If Nintendo was still supporting the 3DS, then maybe there'd be a weird point there. But all right,
no cross buy, like everything's just changed. Like the
like it's occasionally you would get a game with cross buy, but that was up to the devs, and like there's just that stuff seemed like a mess too.